Hello and welcome to my slideshow about my favorite characters in Withering Waves, Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail, and Genshin Impact. There are a couple others that I didn't include that I still like, but I just tried choosing the one I like the most. We'll start with Withering Waves. For the DPS role, we have Jinxie and Xian. For Jinxie, she's really easy to play, she's pretty cute, she's has dragon aspects, which I really like, and she has very high damage. I can't really think of a single con for her, to be honest, but maybe I will in the future. I don't know. For Xian, he's also easy to play. I thought he was very cool, although I haven't played a story quest. He's a dragon with well, not a dragon, but he has dragon aspects, and he also has high damage. Unfortunately, I don't have him. Next, onto Hybrid, we have Yinlin. She's very fun to play. She has a strong sub DPS. She's pretty hot. And she has a unique playstyle, which I don't think I've played in any other kind of game. Unfortunately, she's a little too strong sometimes, and I end up killing things before I can swap over to Jinxie. For support, we have Baishi, or Baisha, or however you pronounce it. I'm really bad with her name. She's a very unique playstyle as well, with her swan thingamabob. She's pretty hot. She's easy to play. At the 5th constellation, I don't remember what this game's version was called, you get a free revive, and she's a free character. Unfortunately, her healing kind of sucks, at least mine does, and I don't think she has enough screen time in the story, at least for now. Now, onto Zenless Zone Zero. We have Ellen Jo as the DPS. She's very easy to play, she's fun to use, she's a shark maid, and she has a Sharknami spam if you have Mindscape Cinema 2, which I do. Unfortunately, she needs M2 for the spam, and she will probably be power clipped in the future due to her being the very first limited banner. Next, we have our stunners, Collida and Lycan. For Collida, she's easy to play, fun, and she has a paired ult with Ben, which I think is really cool and they should do more of. Unfortunately, I don't have her yet. For Lycan, he's also really easy to play. You just hold left click, and he's a loyal butler. Unfortunately, he's kind of furry bait, so I'm not really into that. And I got him instead of Collida. Yeah. For supports, we have Sokaku and Ben. For Sokaku, you just tap hold E. Pretty nice. She loves food, which I agree. And she has a huge buff. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a trust level out yet, but that'll be fixed in the future, I'm sure. For Ben, he will always be the bigger person, and bigger. He's fun to play, and he has the paired ult with Collida, as I mentioned earlier. Unfortunately, he's not that good meta-wise, but maybe he'll be stronger in the future, like when Caesar comes out, who knows. On to Star Rail. We have, for our DPSs, Yunli and Blade. For Yunli, she's counter-based, she's easy to use, and she's related to Blade. She's like his niece or something like that, but they're both adopted. Unfortunately, she kind of wants Robin, so if you don't have her, you're a little bit screwed. I do have her, so I'm good. And you want her light cone for her, otherwise you're going to want links. I don't know the exact thing about it, but I don't even use links, to be honest, even though I don't have her light cone. For Blade, he's also kind of counter-based, but not in the same way, and it's like every 5 hits, pretty much, or 5 times his health drains, which isn't as strong as Yunli, but still fun. He's easy to use, and every time you see him or talk to him when he's not Mars-strucken, he's actually a pretty chill guy, especially in like the Kafka story quest. And he's Blade for the final pro. Unfortunately, he's not as strong compared to other characters now, due to not being able to really do much on the current stuff. It's kind of lame. For specialists, we have Kafka and Welt. For Kafka, she's very fun to play. She kept me hooked into the story when I was first playing, because I wasn't entirely sure if I wanted to continue playing the game. She's pretty hot, and she has dot-based gameplay, which I sometimes enjoy. In this game, I really enjoy it. Unfortunately, she kind of wants specific supports. I guess a lot of characters kind of do in these games, but with her, you specifically want the nihility dot applicators, such as Gwyneth, Luca, and Black Swan. And another bad thing is that I don't have E6, which I kind of want to get just to make her super strong. For Welt, he's a pretty cool dad figure, father figure in the Astral Express. He has black holes, which are pretty sick. They always look cool. And the way he skips enemies' turns, I think is really nice. Like, you can skip turns in other ways, but his is really cool looking. Unfortunately, he's not as useful for many teams, at least the ones I use, and he's pretty skill hungry. Next, we have our Amplifier, Silver Wolf. She's technically not an amplifier, but she is a very strong debuffer. She just fulfills the same role according to Pridwin. She's a hacker girl, which is pretty cool, and she's pretty cute. And I would definitely play video games with her, although she would probably trash talk me. Unfortunately, she's single target, so Pella is often used in place of her, although they can work together. One of her best weapons before the tutorial mission starts is an event weapon. So anyone who missed out on that, unfortunately, can't get that. I do have it. Flexing. And another bad thing is that the resolution, which is the one with Luca on it, and the tutorial light cones are better than her signature light cone Incessant Rain. At least for the break team. I don't remember other types of teams. For our sustain, we have Fushuan and Gallagher. Fushuan, best sustain, can't tell me otherwise. She's easy to build, she tanks everything, she's pretty cute, she sees the future. Venturing who? Cons? Nothing, can't think of a single thing. For Gallagher, he's a pretty cool guy. He's chill. He's pretty strong for just a 4-star unit, and he's pretty easy to obtain. Unfortunately, he's also hard to obtain the higher Eidolons. Like, I'm at 5, I think, even though my friend got like all 6 on one banner. Unfortunate. But cool guy all around. Oops. On to Genshin Impact. For our DPSs, we have Chlorind and Nuviet. For Chlorind, she's easy to play, fun to use, hot. She's a Marichose hunter, which I think is really cool. That's probably one of my favorite things of Fontaine so far, especially in her story event where she's a GM. It's pretty fun to do. And as I said, her story quest is very fun and very unique compared to the rest of the game. For cons, fortunately her skill duration is pretty short. So unless you're using the Thundering Fury, I believe it's called, you kind of have to do your rotations fairly often. For Nuviet, he's extremely easy to play. He's fun to use. He's a dragon. I love dragons. He's very strong, and he's Farina's friend. Unfortunately, he's sometimes a little bit too strong, even at C0R1. So when my friends watch me play, they think the game looks way too easy and won't even bother. Although I guess it's fine. They'll just trash talk the game anyway. Moving on, we have our Sub DPS with Farina and Xingqiu. I think I said his name right. For Farina, she has an awesome story as part of the Archon quest, and even her character story was really fun. She's fun to play, she's easy to use, and she's pretty cute, I'm not gonna lie. For cons, she usually wants a healer, and you can get away with using a shielder, especially if you're using characters such as these two, since they have a self-heal. But using someone like Jean, or even Yao Yao, is usually a little bit better. For Xingqiu, he's a very strong support for Hu Tao, and I guess overall. And every time I see him in the stories, he's always fun to talk to, and I always like doing quests with him. Unfortunately, I kind of prefer to use Yelan over him for teams, so he doesn't see much action unless I'm doing double Hydra. Moving on to supports, we have Layla and Zhongli. For Layla, gameplay really easy. Tap E, you're done. She sleepy time with her E. It's pretty nice and fun to AFK around. She's fun to use. She has what I consider the second best shield in the game. I believe technically Toma can get a better shield, but that's building up stacks and not just tapping E and calling it good. And with her shield, she can have 100% uptime. Unfortunately, she kind of wants Nilo's sword, which luckily for me, I have 2 of them because I lost trying to get another weapon. Lost twice. And that's kind of it. For Zhongli, instead of tapping E, you're holding E. He's easy to use. He has the strongest shield in the game with 100% uptime. His outfit is really cool looking, probably one of my favorite outfits. And one of his best weapons is a 3-star weapon, not even a 4-star. Unfortunately, I always accidentally tap E instead of holding E, so kind of screwed that up and waiting the 5 seconds or however long it is to get it back. Finally, for healer, we have Chevreuse. She's very fun to play. She has a musket, which is pretty unique compared to the rest of the game. She has healing, but it's kind of dot based, so it's healing over time. It's nice. I like it. And like Zhongli, she uses a 3-star weapon for one of her strongest. In fact, it's called Black Tassel. Unfortunately, she's kind of only really used for overload teams. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Like and subscribe.